to chat with me. I know that man, I don't have we spoken before? No?
No, this is like our first time meeting.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. Like, I feel like I know you. Like I be
Go learn, and then let the intuition come with it. But don't just sit and just be like, I think I could just do it like this. But like,
right.
there's ways that you can do things that can be a way that you're not getting burnt out, in a way that you can balance and manage more. So I stay learning new stuff because I'm not trying to work harder. I'm trying to work smarter and get paid more. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm not
Absolutely.
trying to work the time.
Hey yo, what up everybody? So for this episode of Culture Convos with Dom Root, I'll be talking to the homegirl Spirit of Big Spirit Energy on Instagram, or Spirit Loves Beauty. She's multifaceted, creative, businesswoman, and so many other things. So in this interview, we'll be getting into a little bit about her backstory. She's been tapped in with the I Am Root brand for almost pretty much 5 years now. I think we first connected with one of our poetry contests, and then I started to send her some of my beats, and then she uses some of those beats on her YouTube channel with her videos and stuff like that. And then the relationship has grown since there. So definitely a dear friend of the brand. We talk a little bit about her experiences in business and even with writing and poetry, where she is today with all of that stuff. So definitely tap into this episode, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment, leave a review, do all the things that you do to make, content creators special. Appreciate y'all, and then we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Yep.
We've done some work, so we're gonna talk a little bit about your channel, kind of how I don't even remember how I stumbled across your page, honestly.
I don't know. Oh wow. I do not know, but I tell everybody. I'm like, Dom, they're the first people to believe in me. He sent me his music, and so I'm a rock with Dom for life. Okay.
Hey, I
So
appreciate
that's how
it.
I feel.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Yeah, no, that was big too, cause like I know definitely I was in audio school, so I was like trying to, definitely work on more beats, but somehow we ran across the channel, and I could just see the personality. You know what I'm saying? I could see the seriousness about like content creation and like business, and like the whole like styling and all that stuff was definitely something that the brand, at least from our end, was like lacking. So it's like sharing your content was also helpful for us to like provide content to our base that were women, because like doing poetry events and doing just like the type of events that we do in general, not just poetry, but like we get a lot of ladies that come through to the show, and just having that input and being able to share some of your content was like helpful, you know what I'm saying? So then the poetry contest too, I think you submitted to the poetry contest, so maybe I ran across a poem and I sent a message,
Yes.
because like I know we get on the hashtags crazy when it's poetry contest time, like so just looking for NY hashtags, NY poet this or Bronx poet that, whatever I was in, and I'm sure we stumbled across the page.
Yep. And I sure did submit to a poetry contest. I used to submit a lot. I used to write a lot more poetry back then. But I haven't written as much lately. Maybe like one this year.
One. What was what was your mindset back then? Like, where were you as a creative, as a entrepreneur at that stage in life? So was that maybe, I guess, 2017, 18
Yep.
or so?
2017, 2018. I was definitely in a place where I wanted to grow more as a person, trying to figure out like, what direction do I want my life to go in? Who do I want to be? But definitely also in a lot more pain than I am now. And so at one point, writing was kind of like a place to release my feelings, going through a lot of struggles, some growing pains. And so poetry was that place for me to vent. And I think one of yours was called like Let Us Vent.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Poetry was a place for me to vent and get my feelings out, and be creative and kind of artistic at the same time.
Okay. And speaking of creative and artistic, so I remember getting your submission, and like when we saw that you were the winner, back then it was like only written poetry contest, so you didn't really know like what you looked like or who you were specifically when we grade and like see the name. So when I got the name back, it was Spirit Sariel, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So is that your biological name?
No, I told people Spirit Sariel is like my star name.
Star
Okay.
name. Okay.
I came to New York very much on a path that I think my parents would have liked for me. Traditional, graduated college, got in finance, and I was like, now this is what y'all said was going to feel good on paper, but I'm depressed. I don't like it. It's too regular. And I started like breaking away from it. I went to corporate America for 1 year only. I started making an exit plan like 3 years, 3 months into it. I just looked up and I was like, I cannot be doing this time next year. And so a little tear rolled down my face, like, I hate my job.
Oh,
But I didn't know I was a creative. I didn't know I was a creative yet. I dabbled in like thoughts about it, but I didn't know. And so I kind of gave myself permission. And then one time in the mirror, it was like, I'm spirit and I can do anything that I want to, and everything that I'm used to knowing about myself does not have to be my future. And so I
right.
gave myself permission, but the name came from inside and I stuck with it. I was reading a lot of spiritual books back then, a lot of getting in touch with myself, finding out what did I want, what does make me happy, and
Okay.
kind of unlearning some behaviors I had adopted.
Okay. And maybe I missed it because I was like clicking around here, but so was that a play on words then? Because like when I read it originally, it sounded like spirit so real. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, I did not know it was a play on words. Someone else told me that. Someone
okay.
said they saw spirits are real. And
Mm,
so then I thought spirits so real. But I
okay.
remember thinking I'm gonna go by spirit because really that gives me kind of a no name. Like we all have spirit within us. And I'm just committed to living through my spirit. So it's almost like just my spirit is out here, not really identified by any kind of name.
Okay. So let's talk a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about like the variations of, because like I know you have um, some enterprises, you know, and then your different your different Instagram handles, you know, specifically
Yep.
for it. So you have your Lock Journey,
Yes.
and then there's Big Spirit Energy. Is that still the page name or?
Yep. Big
Okay.
Spirit Energy and Spirit Loves Beauty.
Yeah. So talk a little bit
And
about
then
those.
yeah, Big Spirit Energy, when I first came on the scene, I wanted to share about spirituality. I wanted to share about self love, growth, personal development. I was called Spirit of Culture back then. And then I was just starting my lock journey. So people started asking a lot of questions about my hair. And I was like, well, I'm getting enough questions now that maybe I need to start a separate Instagram dedicated to how I care for my hair. And it just took off. People love it, they relate to it. It took me a while to choose locks. And so I was just sharing how I learned to care for it, cute styles. And so that's what people gravitated towards. And then I decided to leave Big Spirit Energy as more of like a personal page where I share my journey through life, like journeys of starting a job, then quitting a job, starting a business, going through struggles with that, and then either my health journey and fitness journeys and my stories or healthy eating. So I use that page as like a place to kind of share my life and who I am. And then Spirit Loves Beauty is like my hair and kind of makeup, skincare kind of thing.
Okay. And you mentioned a little bit about like getting those questions and having to like dedicate a new page. Yeah, no, and we were talking a little off before we started the recording about you. I lost it. I'm sorry. You were about to do your Sundays again, but you know, twice a
Yes.
month. And like I know you were doing it every week, every Sunday for a while. And talk about those live streams and like that community that you've built on YouTube. Because I noticed in the comments you're constantly getting questions, or you know, people are enjoying your outfits and feedback. And how has that relationship with your YouTube family or even your Instagram family been?
YouTube has been, you know what, YouTube, people stay committed to you, okay? I used to make YouTubes 2 or 3 times a week. And then it kind of slowed down as I just started getting into new things. And so my life changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But building community on YouTube via live stream and Instagram, it was a way for me to like share myself, share my voice. So I used New York to like open up. I didn't know who I was, but I had like an idea of who I could be. So I started with poetry, doing live poetry, and then I started doing conferences, like going on cruises and doing like workshops about boundaries or self love, self care. And then I decided to translate that into a show, Spirited Sundays, because I've always looked at myself as someone who wanted to be a positive light in the world, but making positivity like cool, it's lit, it's fun. Like you could do this and it's not going to make you boring or it doesn't have to be not entertaining. But it's important that you have these times where you learn how to like grow and listen to yourself, because that changed my life for me. That's when I got happier, is when I worked on that inner relationship. So I use Spirited Sundays to like dance, show off an outfit, and then talk about how I'm growing in life, and people relate to it.
Yeah, I definitely like the ones that I've hopped in. It was definitely welcome, especially in the beginning. Like you giving people time to come in, and you just like
Yeah.
vibing for a second, got your drink, and it's just like, yeah, come on in, like we about to get
Come
it
on in.
going. Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and that type of like energy, for folks that are looking for a community, that are looking for honestly people that look like them, that are leading these like media channels, you know what I'm saying, and like getting that input and
Yes.
having that relationship, because like there's a lot of people out there doing it, but like in terms of like, I don't know, I feel like I get this genuine kind of authentic experience coming off your page. It's like full of smiles, and it's like things that you want to do, or even the moments where you want to hop on there and be transparent, and talk about like, yo, this just happened, you know what I'm saying, let's talk about it, like that
Yep.
kind of stuff is definitely, in my opinion, like the type of content that's great for YouTube, or even Instagram too specifically, but just like for community building specifically, like people can, tap into your brand, so that when you do need to make a pivot, what I'm saying, they're there with you. They know what's going on, and oh, we're not doing that no more. We over here with this channel, what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's what I love too.
Exactly. That's how I feel. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna keep it authentic. I am a good, positive, high spirited person most of the time, but there are times when I'm angry, I'm upset, pissed, and I gotta talk about that too. Or like when I make a mistake, I feel like I got played. I love YouTube because you are able to be more of yourself on there, more of like long form, and the people that want to just hang out with you are down to listen to videos where you talk about your life. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm not perfect. My life's not perfect. And I don't want to be hiding the imperfect parts to show the perfect parts. I'd rather show it all. Because I think we all have ups and downs in life. So why not be
Yeah.
transparent with it?
No, that's true. So I know that you're on the East Coast, New York area. Are you from there? Like
I'm from Atlanta, baby.
Atlanta? Okay,
But I've been
okay.
here 9 years though.
Okay. So how is Atlanta shaped like who you are, and then how is like New York, kind of being there also like, added to your, who you are?
I say Atlanta keeps it real. I like Atlanta because it helped me be real. I feel like I was raised on Gucci Mane, Jeezy. I grew up listening to them. And so I love that Atlanta's very fun and very like a chill place.
Okay.
And so New York taught me how to hustle though. Like New Yorkers, all about the bag, going to get money. Like even if people don't have a home and they're asking for money, they probably gonna spit a poem, start singing. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody up here is gonna have a little talent or something, and they're not afraid. The good thing about
Okay.
New York is like Atlanta had like kind of a look. Like now it's probably like a little BBL look, but I always had to have on makeup, all kind of things. In New York, it's a lot of individuality, and people don't
Okay.
care. Like you could walk down the street in a prom dress and some sneakers, and people barely gonna look at you. And then in other places, like they'll be like, "Where you going? What's going on?" So New York told you that like you could stand out
Mm-hmm.
without being like criticized. No one really cares what you got going on because they're worried about themselves up here.
Right. Okay. And I get that too. So that's awesome, kind of having both of those, like, kind of, it's not, I wouldn't say angel and devil, but like both of those experiences, kind of culminating together and making your experience dope. Because, you definitely come across as like, I get that New Yorkness too, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it seems like there's some Southern in there for sure. Like,
Southern hospitality, like I'm not like, what you looking at me for? Like I'm not like
right. Yeah. You
that.
super like welcoming, and like, not that New Yorkers aren't friendly, but like, it just
They
catch 'em.
not that friendly. They
All
friendly
right.
when
All
they
right.
like you.
Yeah.
They
All right.
gotta know you or like you. But like if you just walk around like smiling, what you smiling at me for? Like,
Yeah. Huh.
dang.
Yeah. Okay.
It toughened me up though. I needed that. I needed to get toughened up.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they'll bump you, not turn around. Like in Atlanta, if someone bump you, you're supposed to look back. And they be like, oh, excuse me, New York, boom.
And they
And they just
already
keep walking.
buy it.
They
Yeah,
don't
that's
even care.
crazy. Just keeping it moving.
They don't even care.
All right, so let's jump back real quick to a little bit about the early days on YouTube. Because I'm probably gonna throw up a little side screen here with like your locks when they were super short. And
I
you were on the
know.
channel and where they are today. Like, how was it? Like when you first, what was that first video like for YouTube? If you remember it.
I was so nervous, Dom. I used to not be comfortable on camera. Definitely lacking confidence in that area. I have a YouTube that like is hidden away because like I couldn't even look at the camera on the first videos. I would just like talk like a robot and kind of look away.
Yeah.
But now I like, so back then I had a little notebook and I would have my little notes and I would say that part and then I would pause the video, go back to my notebook, look back up, say the next part. And I watch myself kind of loosen up and become more and more comfortable. So even when I look at the old videos, I can see how much I've grown now to being like super comfortable on camera, talking so much, not trying to cut out every or girl. Like it's like that's my personality.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that. And I like it. So yeah. But it was great in the beginning. I was
Okay.
really excited.
Okay. How was the reception in terms of like getting the word out? Like, did you have a community already built and you were just like, yo, guys, I'm doing this, send it out to cousins and friends and homegirls and stuff like that? Or what was that process like for you too?
I usually just go at things really organic. And
Okay.
so I just started it and I would cross promote on Instagram, cross
Okay.
promote on Twitter, and just say, just dropped a video. And I let YouTube, I figured with, the weekly inconsistency, more people would find me. And that kind of is how it happened.
Nice. Nice.
Hmm.
And when was that? When was that first video?
That was 2017
Oh, it's
in
okay,
January.
2017. Okay. So
Yep. Hmm.
pretty much like right. Okay. Man,
Right
honestly, I
when we
couldn't tell.
met.
I couldn't tell honestly. To be honest with you, like, I got to go back and see. But nah, you definitely seemed like it was already up, and that's why I sent the stuff about music and stuff because I'm like, yo, she's up. Like, let me go ahead and see if she want to use my
What? I
beats.
was so excited. Like, you were like one of the first people to ever, like, I always say, believe in me. Like, I'm like, Dom, see me from the beginning, okay?
Hey.
So you sent your music. I used to talk about it all the time. Like, wow, someone cares enough to send me their
Right.
music. I used your music in almost exclusively all my videos for like 2 or 3 years
Yeah, and
after
I
that.
appreciate that too. I was like, man, I didn't know what kind of music you liked. I'm just like in there. It was so much in there, and I appreciate you for having the patience enough to go through those, because some of them were nice and some of them were probably rough on the ears. But I appreciate you for just taking that time out, what I'm saying, and picking what you liked.
Yep, exactly. I was like, this is a mutual collaboration. He sent them to me, so let me find, make things, and it worked because you had such a variety of music. Some was
Yeah.
fast, slow, up, down. Like it was a good variety. It was perfect.
Awesome, awesome. So how is like besides people like myself, has there been other people that's been extremely like helpful to your career or like receptive to like helping you connect some dots and like, make some movements here either with like your lock journey or, the on the beauty side of things or just even on mentorship in terms of like boosting that confidence, how you're coming across on camera or even
Hmm.
marketing stuff, like, share a little
I
info
would
on that.
say the only other person is someone like you, was you in Ancient Aura Jewelry. Both of y'all have been rocking with me since I was in the beginning. And I have a friend, the idea girl, Brittany. She helped me with my branding in the beginning. I decided to like invest in myself, get a logo. So that was important. And then what I did was study. I
Mm,
study everybody who does really well, what I liked, and try to always like be upgrading what I had going on based on like, okay, different camera angles, okay,
mm-hmm.
different equipment, something that would make the videos more clear, ways to shape my background. And so I study a lot of those. I mean, YouTube is great for entertainment, but it's also great for knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used it for that. And as far as like becoming more comfortable on camera, keep showing up on camera and watching other people do it and then not trying to like control or look perfect like I said.
Right.
um and then in practice, because every time you make a video it's practice, and then you realize no one points out every little mistake. That's more so things that people point out about themselves,
True.
but other people don't really criticize us as much as we think they will.
That's true. That's true. And you definitely come across as a student of the game. Like when you watch the videos, it's always progression and growth, and even the thumbnails, you know what I'm saying? And just the moments to try to get the person engaged. Like, those areas I've always like struggled and, always tried to grow in, especially with like, I kind of feel you on when you were saying like for your first video, you weren't looking at the camera or anything like that. Even myself, when I was doing during the pandemic, I'm not like I'm Dom Root for a reason. I really enjoy being behind the scenes. I love like
Okay.
celebrating and supporting people, and like I do my music, you know what I'm saying? And that's my passion. I love to produce and mix and master and stuff like that. But like, I do my art because I love art. But like, truly, I love being behind the scenes and being behind success stories. But anyways, I was for the start of the pandemic, I was going to do my Tuesday nights, like playing beats on live, and I started with the
Hmm.
iPad, and basically I would have the iPad right behind me, filming my screen and the wall, because again, I was like, I like being behind the scenes. I'm not really in front of the camera guy, but the aesthetic started to not really be exactly what I wanted. So I'm like, all right, let me do it on my laptop, and I'll have an image up, and do these other things, but still not be on camera. But eventually, I just had to grow and get over that, and so all right, cool, put the webcam here, and I'll put a camera on my drum machine now so that people can see
Okay.
what I'm doing with my hands. And like, eventually it was like a slow progression into feeling a little more comfortable being on camera, because no one cares, like, only I care about
No
how
one
I looked or any
cares.
of that. So
Yes.
I had to, yes, definitely get over that, and it took a minute, but it's just like, yeah, like you were saying, just being inside your own head, and you put that kind of that additional pressure on yourself.
Yeah, like we're judging ourselves and for what? All it's doing is holding us back at the end of the day. But like you said, it's a slow burn, slow kind of journey. And then you open up more and more, and then you get more comfortable with things that you weren't comfortable with. And then years later, you look back and you're like, wow, look at you now.
Right, right. And speaking of, look at you now. I saw a post. It was an ad post for Canva. Was that you? Are you working with Canva, or did you kind of get land some kind of partnership? If you could share a little bit about that.
Yes, I did a partnership with them and their mobile phone editor. So that's been a thing for me lately is growing to the point where I'm now working with some brands that I'm like, okay, this is really nice. So I work with Canva. This is not even on Instagram or anywhere, but I've been working with Google for the last 6 months.
Oh, nice.
Um, did Meta, Facebook for 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was having some like kind of long-term things come up. They're wrapping up now, but I was like, okay, God, now that was a good blessing. So it allowed me to work full-time as a content creator, which has been the goal since the beginning. And so now I'm like, okay, those are wrapping up those contracts. And so now I'm working on bringing my show back and finding ways to regularly put myself out there because I love being in front of the camera. I love sharing,
Yeah.
um, and seeing what it brings me. Like,
Right. And I feel like you've
yeah,
always been one that's been like connecting and collaborating, or somehow like landing these. Maybe they're not partnerships. You could explain a little more. But like when I would watch some of your other videos, you would have products from certain places. Oh, this is jewelry from so and so's business. You know what I'm saying? Tap in with them or whatever. So how was it kind of similar in terms of like landing those relationships, looking to either cross promote their business and like your content, or were they even reaching out to you like, hey, here's some product. Would you mind like throwing this on with a cute outfit?
you know what? I did it first for free with brands that I like.
Okay.
And so that's what I always tell people. It's like you can't be afraid to promote somebody even if you're not getting paid because that's how you show proof that you do promote people, that you do put on for people. So I used to do videos of like 5 Black-owned jewelry companies. That's jewelry that I bought. That's jewelry that I like. Those are brands that I wanted to support and I'm just sharing them. And so that made after a while people started reaching out like, "Hey, I'd like to send you something. Would you mind?" That was a big thing on the show too. It's like just shouting out small businesses because I like to do that. I know that when it's a small business, we're all working really hard, probably wearing 15 hats, creator, producer, marketer,
All
customer
that.
service, shipping,
Right.
handling, everything. We're all of that. So if I can help put a brand on because I'm a small business, you know, I'm my business too. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best to use my platform to help especially Black businesses. And then in the meantime, if I get some big companies, why not?
Right, absolutely. So, what's been one of the biggest lessons, that you could say you've taken away from when you started to where you are now? Like, one of the big lessons that you could take away from all of your experiences.
All of it has been be consistent. Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to grow. But you have never seen me say I'm taking a social media break. And the reason
Yeah.
is I took a break from 2014 to 2015, and I decided I was going to turn social media and the time I like to spend on there into a business. Ever since I came back, I have started businesses, lost businesses. I have tried concepts, let them go, tried some, stuck with them. But I made sure to say that if I wanted to do this full time, I was going to have to learn the market and I was going to have to be consistent. Even if I didn't get the results that I wanted on my content, even if I didn't feel like people were seeing it, then that means I need to study how to market it. That might mean I need to see what the pivot needs to be, if I'm even liking doing this. And maybe I have to just keep doing it some more so people get used to seeing me give them that, especially if it's a change or something new. But I never quit on that. And I'm not going to, because the people that I see that are big, they always got something coming out. Okay.
Yep.
They are making that content. They are working. It's work. And so it's like, if you want to be full time at something, that's 40 hours. And so
No, bro.
yeah, it's like if you do it over 5 days, that's 8 hours that day. Some of it is studying, some of it's creating, sometimes it's ideating. But yeah, you got to consistently make content. I actually make content for 2 small businesses right now
Oh, nice.
as well. Yep. So I'm working with I got some clients now, Dom.
Right.
Like,
That's look at
what?
man. That's crazy. That's awesome to see for sure, though. Like, because that
Yes.
consistency, you brought it up. Like, that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? That's what connected in my brain. Like, yo, we need to tap in with this person. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the page and looking at the consistency, and even just seeing it from then. And you mentioned just a second ago, like, you haven't taken any social media breaks. You know what I'm saying? And I was like thinking back, like, damn, nah, like, she ain't stopped. Like,
No.
it's just been. You feel me? Like, just going, and that's amazing. And that's what it takes to like build that brand trust. People know that they gonna get some spirit content at some point. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? This week, or if she's hitting the gym this morning, what's she feeling like today? Or if she's not feeling it today, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, like, we gonna get some
Yes.
of it.
And that's the way to do it. It's like it might not be an IG post every day. I might be in the stories sometimes. If I don't feel like talking, I might just share a couple things that I see along the way. Sometimes I feel like being on Twitter, not Instagram that day. But still, it's like just watering those little seeds all the time. And then they become, small plants and they continue to grow.
Hmm.
But it's like at least I know I'm engaged on multiple platforms. And I'm up on game because that's just what I wanted to do. And so now having clients, it's great because they challenge me. These are not A, they're not my brands, and B, they don't use my face. And
Mm.
so I'm now growing brands for other people. And I like it. I realize that's how much I know I love content creation. I'm making content for someone else
Yeah.
and I like doing it just as much because I'm using like my aesthetic eye, my music supervision, like trying to figure out what songs work,
Hmm.
producing and putting their content together. And so it's like, I just like doing it.
Right. And then, since I heard you mention music, we're going to just lean into that a little bit. I know that you released
Yeah.
some music, you know what I'm saying? And we talked a little bit in the past about exporting music on Logic, you know what I'm saying? So you've definitely been on a journey. So I know that you are using Logic. Are you still using it still?
You know what,
Are
Dom?
you
I have
still?
not made a song in a minute,
Hmm.
okay? I'll tell you what happened. All
Hmm.
right. I found acting.
Oh, okay.
And I had no idea. I'm in acting school now. I'm in there twice a week and
Hey, that's
rehearsing
awesome.
twice a week. I'm so happy, Dom. Like I like making turn up music, very surface level music,
Hmm.
okay? But it wasn't like I wanted to go deep there, but music didn't make me go deep in my
Yeah.
feelings and stuff. The way that I listen to other artists, even your beats, I can feel things. And I'm like, dang, I don't know if music is touching me as deeply as I want. I just like making catchy stuff.
Hmm.
So when I took acting, that went a little deeper to my core for
Okay.
me. And became something that I'm like, I could still be a music star as a role, a musician as a role, and but the acting definitely required a lot more. I was noticing I was doing it without anyone asking. And I did that with music too, but I think I got really in my head and critical. And so then I found acting and it made me want to learn more, go farther and deeper with it. And so I'm doing that.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to see, where that journey in life takes you. Because, like, again, personality, for me, and at least the experiences you've had in life, I could definitely see you, doing your thing on the stage
screen,
or on the
right?
screen, like wherever, for sure. Like, that's the space. And if that's definitely, if that's where you're being led to go, like, I'm, there in agreement and prayer and, definitely in support of your journey there. So, no, that's
Yes,
awesome.
sir.
That's awesome because I was going, that was going to be some of my next questions. Like, what's next for Spirit? Like, what's coming down the
Yes.
pipeline? But that's going to be amazing. And another way for you to, do what you do. Connect with other people that are in that space, and they're going to comment on your outfit because you're constantly, pulling off looks and doing your hair a
Yep.
certain way. So it's going to definitely still feed your bottom line, which is your business. You know what I'm saying, that you're running as well too. So, no, I like that a lot.
That's what I feel like too. I'm being patient. It's like I can cry, Dom. Okay, let me tell you. When I was making myself cry like 5, 7 times in a day with the script, with the acting, I said, "No, you might be on to something here." But yeah, it still allows me to be me, and be bold, and it's so fun because I can yell, get angry, and like if I'm ever mad, people are like, "I could never see you angry." I'm like, I get angry,
Right.
and now I have this safe space to really just explore so much of my
Mm-hmm.
personality with without fear. In the
Mm-hmm.
class, anything goes. Anything
Yeah.
goes.
No, that's real. I like messing around like that too. Not like anything official, but I do like running through scenarios because, like, again, like, we're humans, and we're supposed to have that full spectrum of emotions. Being angry, being sad, and being happy. You know what I'm saying, and missing
Yeah,
someone, and, like,
scared.
yes, all of those things like make us exactly who we are and kind of fine tune us to be better. Humans going forward in terms of like protecting ourselves. If you ain't been scared in a minute, your awareness might be off. You just walking down a dark alley and get got.
Right.
But if you've been shook a few times, you on point as
You
moving
more
about
aware
your
what's
day.
going on.
For sure.
Yes, and it's fun because I don't know ever know what's coming out of my mouth. I don't know what I'm about to do. It's just I get just as surprised as anybody else by my own self because it lets me be free. I get to be
Right.
free. Hmm.
Right. Okay. So we were talking a little bit earlier about shows and stuff. Plans for the remainder of our day. What kind of shows are you interested in? What have you been watching lately? Some of your top shows.
Okay, so there's a show. It's older, I think, but it's called Blacklist on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
Woo! That's
Re-
a good show.
my dog
Okay.
Reddington.
Reddington, like they keep the surprises. I never expect anything that I get from that show.
Yes.
So I love that show.
Yes. It's fire.
Um, that's been my most consistent show. It's 9 seasons, so I will watch Blacklist for hours and hours. I'm like, go to bed, go to bed, like stop
Right.
watching.
Nah, for sure. Cause right when you think they about to get snatched up or caught, it's just like there's a back door somewhere. They get out. He goes
Yes,
that
and they
way.
keep a hook on that show. I'm hooked.
Nah,
I'm
for
hooked.
sure.
Okay.
For sure. That's a good one.
Um, this ain't child friendly, but I be watching Jocelyn Cabaret with my roommate sometimes. That's
Okay.
just
Okay.
fun. Let me tell you why I like Jocelyn. Because every episode is gonna start with her music video. The only songs you're gonna hear in the show, her music.
Her.
So it's like she is unapologetically promoting herself 100%. So I'm
Right.
like, you know what? I like that. You
Right.
invested in yourself and you're gonna make sure you're just gonna keep putting yourself out there to the point like I'm singing your songs because they're just on loop on the show. Now they're on loop in my head.
Right. Which is smart, I think, too, because like all the
Smart.
clips that we see hit online, social media, are going viral, but they're not like clips of her music. You know what I'm saying? It's clips of what's happening on the show, and then you go tap into the show, and like you mentioned, this what's in the
It's her
background
music.
music being played starts off with that, so you gotta
Yeah.
have
So I
be
just think it's
intentional.
smart. Yeah, I think it's so smart. So I like that for her. And am I watching anything else? Not consistently. Blacklist, it's just been the thing for me, and I keep watching it. And so, what about you? What are you watching now?
A little bit of everything, honestly. We been jumping around. I think took some took some stabs at the new Bel Air on Peacock or whatever. I was checking that out. The darker,
Okay.
different, Fresh Prince vibes. There is. Well, so I saw this clip of Freddie Gibbs like popping shit on Instagram, like he was in a show or whatever, and it's called Bust Down or something. I think
Uh,
that I forget what platform that's on, but yeah, so he's like in there, and it's kind of like a funny, real super black like experience, you know what I'm saying? So I like that a lot, like just because like I've been into stuff that's making me laugh, super late because I'm working on my real estate license and stuff like that. So like I've been needing
yes.
stuff to like be in the background, keeping me like high spirited, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've been into comedies, and we just watched. I mean, Mike Epps, his stand up just was released on Netflix or whatever. So, been
Was
checking
it
that
good? Is
out.
it worth it? Worth
I enjoyed it.
watching?
I love Mike. You know what I'm saying? He just like
Okay.
silly. You know what I'm saying? And I needed that. In terms of like that laughter, that like just that ghetto, ghetto Hollywood.
Yes,
Like you know what I'm
yes.
saying? Like not too. He ain't towing no lines or nothing. He being Mike, so I enjoyed that for sure.
Yeah, I like that. That's me too. I like me some black content because black people are funny. Okay,
No, for
even they're not
sure,
trying to be funny. They just funny, and I
for
love to
sure,
laugh.
for
Speaking
sure.
of real estate, I tried to get that license. I studied like a little bit, but I was it's that is hefty. That is
Nah.
hefty on the brain.
Right? Yeah, nah, for sure. Cause like my day job, I'm in it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to like go higher. On that side of things. If I can't come out full time for my Iron Root stuff, I'm like trying to go as
Yeah,
high as I can on this and do both as long as I can. But yeah, so it's all behind that. You know what I'm saying? So that's my intention for doing it. I'm not trying to like flip and sell houses on my own, but I could use it as a tool if I need to kind of make some pivots on the day job side of things.
exactly. And then you just reinvest that into your brand, and you never know. You might meet some people. They're like, "Yeah, I'm looking to get a house." It's just like when you connect with people, you just never know how that
Yeah.
that skill might be able to just like, oh, actually could help you out.
Right, yeah,
And
because I told
yeah,
my auntie, she started sending me a list of things I could do with that. She's like, "Oh yeah, you could be an appraiser, do this, yada yada yada." Just running through it, like she got real hyped. So, I love to keep options available for sure.
same, same. That's why I do the social media for people because I'm like, that's marketing. So I'm in copywriting classes. I take
Right.
like digital marketing classes. I'm about to buy this class today. That's you're not a freelancer, you're a business. So that I can
Mhm.
kind of get out of the hourly mindset and try to think of ways to kind of form that business. Because
Mhm.
this kind of stuff I try to tell people is like, don't approach business and creative money making intuitively. Like,
Mhm.
go learn, and then let the intuition come with it. But don't just sit and just be like, I think I could just do it like this. But like
Right.
there's ways that you can do things that can be a way that you're not getting burnt out, in a way that you can balance and manage more. So I stay learning new stuff because I'm not trying to work harder. I'm trying to work smarter and get paid more. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm not
Absolutely.
trying to work from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. Like,
Right.
so I'm trying to get smarter with my business. Because I had a hair company, lost that because I got with someone who was kind of like a snake, quote unquote, investor.
Mhm.
But really, it was someone that was trying to take my business from me, and I had to wind up stepping away from it because I couldn't. I had given so much
Mhm.
and kind of got nothing. And so I learned to do my due diligence in that. And so you got to make mistakes in life, but I'm not going to make the same mistakes. So I'm making sure that I learn. And then when I bring things back, when I revamp them, it'll be from a new level of experience.
Okay. And I'm gonna link the video because I know you did break down a video talking about that. So I'll link that video and for our YouTube people to actually check out. But if you can share with me
Yeah.
one small note, just like mentally, how were you? Were you hard on yourself during that time when that experience happened to you as like a business person?
Yes. I was like an egg with a crack in it. And that crack started getting bigger and bigger until one day I kind of snapped. So I was very angry. I had to like 9 months no pay, but I was paying myself before he came along. Then he's like, we should get a business account, open a business account. And I wound up trying to get access, but then he kind of like locked me out of access to it. So now I know it's making money. I'm seeing the money get made. I'm not getting nothing. And I was working 40 hours a week, sometimes 50 hours a week on it. And so I definitely was a crack in my mental. And then I snapped one day, and that's when I was like, okay, this is unhealthy. I'm gonna have to go ahead and do what I felt was so embarrassing and so shameful and step away from it without realizing it was going to be my liberation.
Hmm.
I was unhappy for a whole year. And when I finally shared my suffering, the support I got, the love I got, I wish I would have told people what was going on even sooner.
See, and that was
Um,
gonna be my question too. I was wondering, were you like holding on to that alone? Did you have like a little mini tribe that that you were
I had
working
a mini
through? Okay,
tribe.
okay,
My roommates were my mini tribe and my boyfriend. So three
okay.
people knew. But I felt like I was talking about it all the time. I
Yeah.
felt like it was in my brain all the time. And that was my biggest lesson coming out of this is when you suffer by yourself, it feels huge. But when you share, the amount of comments I got on YouTube about people who had had something similar happen or having to break up with a business partner and things that kind like of that nature, I was like, whoa, I am not alone. This is not a unique experience. And it felt good to let it out. It feels good to talk about it now because I sat on that for almost a year and a half, a year. And I broke down when I went home to my parents
Hmm.
and I told them what happened. And they were super supportive, and it felt good to just be around people who loved me.
Hmm.
It gave me courage to go ahead and call on the boycott, to start the boycott.
Right.
And
Yeah. Cause I'm on the email list. I definitely got it. And I was like, oh shit.
yep.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. And so, yeah, that happened when I was at home, and I finally just had some strength to just face this monster that has been in my face and that I felt kind of helpless against, and to go ahead and like slay it and take it
Hmm.
down and get that out of my life. Like, you're
Right.
done. You're
Right.
done.
Absolutely. And you know what? Like just seeing the growth where you are mentally, what I'm saying, in terms of like what you're plotting on, how you're treating yourself, what I'm saying, and your business, like it's great to see you had to go through some fire though, what I'm saying, to get to where you are, learn some lessons and also realize like you have a community of people in the world like willing to share their stories with you and their testimonies about things that they've experienced, because like that's a huge thing too, as you mentioned earlier about when you deal with it alone, it is huge, what I'm saying, like that puts it in so much perspective, because like you are just only hyper focused on this one thing and it just seems like a super high wall. But when everybody starts talking about this is my experience and that, you start to put it in perspective, like okay, I'm about a 5 on the 1 to 10 scale, because
Yeah.
like or whatever it is for your individual case. So
And people could just relate. Like, I'm like reading their stories. I'm like, dang, okay. People can be shady. News flash. Everyone's not like you. Everyone's not trying to be the best version of themselves. Some people are trying to make a quick buck, okay? Sucker born every day. And some people are looking for them.
right, right.
And I was naive, very trusting, but I needed to do a little bit more background research. Let me talk to some people who have worked with you. Let me speak with um, some counterparts, see what other people have to say about you. And I don't have to jump at every opportunity that seems good. Every opportunity that seems good could be in disguise. Let me sit, wait, see how I feel. Because I felt a little funny about it and I still went with it because I needed the help. And so, again, leaning on that intuition and then the knowledge and wisdom that's out there. If I had just looked up what should it have been going on, what should have been going on with an investor, I might have been able to ask some different questions in the beginning and not just so carelessly kind of sign things.
No, that's true. For sure. Just like being a young entrepreneur, like having just seeing the help right there. It's like yo, all right, what we talking about? Like so I could a lot of people can definitely contest to like having that similar experience, just like what they're willing to say. I mean, music artists kind of go through it on that
All
super
the
large
time.
scale where they're like, man, I've been out here rapping in the streets. Like you talk about you about to give me an M, like what I'm saying, like right now I sign this, I get the M now, right? All right, cool. They take it and then
Yeah.
they look back later, 3 albums in, and they're like, man, I ain't getting none of this. What I'm saying? So
Right. Right. It's the same. It felt like the exact same thing. Someone was preying on your talent and They know. I mean, contracts are confusing. They're supposed to be in plain English, but they are confusing. And like you said, when you want that help, you want that bread, you want it now.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So
you just gonna move a little too quick.
right, right. Okay, so as we come up to the end here, I do want to throw out or give you an opportunity to throw out some tips or some, little notes of advice that you would give to some folks coming up that maybe want to get into content creation, or maybe they want to be a stylist. Like you are a multifaceted individual, so like if they wanted to be a little spirit, like, and kind of get into their bag on multiple levels, like what kind of pieces of advice would you give them?
I would say, like, draw out the big picture and then work on it a piece at a time. Um, Find ways that you can incorporate different parts of yourself into something, and be more process oriented, getting a process down, getting consistent, than being results oriented. The results will come, but it takes time. It takes time for people to get to know you. It takes time for people to like you. So don't be afraid to, like, just keep showing up, even if it's not as amazing as you want it to be, as the response or anything like that. And then stay learning, stay paying attention, stay up on game. You got to stay up on game,
Yeah.
as because the internet changes every other day. Something's new is going on, new trends. So it's like when you sit and wait on stuff, you don't have to. And I had saw this reel, and it was like, stop trying to make the perfect content. Just make content. Some of it's going to hit, some of it's not.
Hmm.
But like, just show up. Just show up. You don't know what's going to be that thing or what's going to be the one. But if you just keep showing up, you might have a couple small things that turn into a big thing that then goes back down. But it's ebbs and flow with the whole journey. And just be yourself. I study people. I like who I like. And then I still make sure that what I give is authentically me, that I'm not trying to conform and do something because I know that I'll do good. I got to find a way to make it mine still
Mm.
at the end of the day. Even if it's a trend, I'm going to find a way to make it my spin on the trend, my version of doing it.
That's awesome. And while you were talking, I started to think, like, are you giving workshops either on entrepreneurship or coaching, help with mental health and all that stuff?
So no, not right now. I have a big plate, but I make sure, like, I keep five solid things on the plate.
Hmm.
So wrapping up those contracts, now I'm like, let's work on bringing the show back. Then once I get into a groove of having the show while going to school and helping clients, then I'm like, now I kind of want to work on a book. So I kind of make sure to not overwhelm myself with too much. So I'm hoping the show is more like workshops and ways that, because I want to expand it as far as, doing the inner work. But I do have knowledge about business. I do have knowledge about healthy lifestyle. And so sharing in that way, the show, I think, will allow me to kind of share whatever gems are on my heart.
Okay, no, that's awesome. I'll definitely be probably reaching out to you within the next year or so, because like that's definitely where I Am Root is going, in that space of knowledge sharing and putting people in front of people who have gone through things and that can give their testimony. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we'll invite you out to a digital panel or something like that, or we've been applying for some grants. So if we get that budget right, we're gonna send you
Yes,
a plane
sir.
ticket. You know what I'm saying? And try
Yes,
to get it
sir.
right.
And I love EYL. You watch EYL on your
Oh
leisure?
yeah, yeah, yep.
Right? The,
Yeah,
the the model and the blueprint. So I'm like, they
right.
are positive, putting out dope content, putting it out regularly, but we watch them grow. So I'm like, you know, seeing
Yeah.
other people can do it makes me feel like I can do it too.
Oh no, for sure. Cause like soon as the pandemic hit, I got some bright idea like everybody else in the world to get on Robinhood. You feel me?
Yeah,
And start
I'm
getting
a
some
Robin Hood
stocks.
too.
And then once I got some stocks, I'm like, all right, I need to know what the hell I'm doing with all this. So I was looking for that
Yes.
content, and then they were right there. You know what I'm saying? Just ready to give
Yes.
information every Monday, them in, and then the fold of people that they're tapped into, from 19 Keys, him 500, MG. It's like so many layers. Like you want to learn about real estate, you want to learn about doing options. They even got the people doing forex. It's like multi-layered in terms of information. So it's been incredible. I love watching their content.
Me too. And it's like they started with one thing and then it was able to expand. So
Yeah.
anyone that wants to get into it, I don't think it's too late or anything to be into starting anything. You can always start something, and then allow it to expand and grow and shift. And there's so many models of
Yeah.
it. Us watching people grow. It's like, let that inspire you, not discourage you.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, this has been great, and I want to thank you for taking some time out of your Sunday to chat with me. I know that, man, I don't have we spoken before? No.
No, this is like our first time meeting.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. Like, I feel like I know you. Like I be seeing your shit. I'm like, yeah, that's my
Literally.
dog. Like I know her, but no,
Yes.
this
I
is
was like, I've
awesome.
never met Dom.
Right, right. No, this is awesome, and thank you for your time. Many blessings to you, your business, your relationships.
Yes.
What I'm saying, just continue to flourish and grind, and we'll be rooting for you, of course. Trying to send you opportunities here and there, wherever we can connect and do things. But ultimately, just pouring into whatever you got going on and supporting is our main goal. Just seeing you do well is awesome. You know what I'm saying, and when it comes to the music, if you're still looking for stuff, I'm revamping my lifestyle when it comes to music. So I'm gonna have some different stuff, and I'm even doing some stuff too with my Dom Root art. So I would love to share some of that
Okay.
stuff with you, just to kind of get some feedback, because like I'm in that space now where I am Root is something that I created, and for a
Yeah.
while it was difficult
Yeah.
for me to separate myself from this thing that I created. I was like, I make a beat, it's I Am Root's beat, you know what I'm saying? But I'm I'm growing to be like, yo, like not everything needs to be pushed through the lens of like I Am Root. Like some shit that I'm doing is just for me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That I want to
Yeah.
create. So I'm
Yeah.
learning, and I'm stepping into that creativity a lot more, which is allowing me some freedom, because I was kind of enclosed, because like I Am Root is this positive thing that I created to connect with people, and sometimes I be on my hood shit, you know what I'm saying? So I got
Hello? Hello?
I gotta find that balance, you know what I'm saying, and being myself and like carving that lane out for myself is that. So yeah.
Yes. That's what I told myself too.